Didn't even get to pause.
Hey guys, this is Daniel with Grin Gaming, and today I'm going to show you how to make terrain in Unity. I'm going to do a quick tutorial that goes over some of the basics, and we'll make a pretty cool terrain. And then I'm going to go more in depth in some future videos about terrain. I'm going to start a series where I do all of the components in Unity other than programming, which the programmer will handle. So anyways, when you load your project, go ahead and add character controller, skyboxes, terrain assets. I got these trees for free from the asset store. They're under Unity's Shantytown packages or something. Just go to like 3D models, nature, trees or something. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. First thing we're going to want to do is make our terrain. So you go to game object, create terrain, and here's what we get: a terrain. And let's see, it starts off, these are all the different ways that you can modify the terrain. And so this is the terrain's settings. Just for simplicity, I'm going to lower it to 1000 by 1000. And I'm not going to go over any of this stuff really right now. And so if we go here, we can see that doing this creates raised terrain. And if we hold shift, well, actually, if we hold shift it'll go down, but right now the height it's already at its flattest. So if we go to this one, paint height, we can go ahead and say that we'll flatten it at 100, and it'll raise up a little bit. So now if we go back to here and we hold shift, we can make trenches. Okay, so now our terrain is up 100, and what we're going to be trying to make here is just a big like mountainous area, which we're going to make like a path through the mountains and through the trees and everything. Okay, so what I like to do to make it like look more realistic is just grab like one of these chaotic brushes. The different brushes will pretty much paint, but paint in you know, mountains. So with this brush I'm just gonna lightly cover everything just because I think it makes it look more realistic. And the thing about terrain is that you just have to mess around with it and figure out what you like and all that good stuff. Alright, so once we have that, now we're going to have a mountainous area in the middle that we have to get through. So let's just go ahead and make that. The opacity is how sharp it is. So 100 opacity is very sharp, it goes very fast. Very low opacity, it takes a very long time. So I know that I want giant mountains and I want them fast. So I'm just going to do this. Alright, and that's pretty good. If you're not happy with something that you've drawn, as it says here, hold shift and you can lower what you've drawn. I'm pretty happy with that. I'll add some more back here. And then you might be wondering why it's got to be so boring and, I don't know, white colored. So let's go ahead and go to here and edit texture. Add texture. So you can add your own textures into Unity, but we added the terrain assets at the creation. So go here and find the one that you want. I'm going to be good with this. And it'll add it to everything, which is cool for now. And I just want to make this a little bit more. And then let's make like hold shift to bring it down, like a ditch area where our road will go through the mountains. Alright, so if we want to add trees, we go to the little button that looks like trees, go edit trees, add trees, go to tree. These are the ones that I added. It comes with this one, so if you didn't go to the asset store, you can just add palm trees. I just don't think they look that good. If you want them to be able to bend in the wind or something, you add the bad factor, but I'll do that in later ones. So add, and then with the trees you get your brush size. So if I click, I get this little patch of trees based on the density and all that. You can do color variations, you can do tree height. So if you want them to be taller, they'll be taller. Width, same thing, pretty basic. And then you can add more trees. There's also this mass place trees, so if you're just like making a forest chunk or something, then you could just hit mass place trees and it'll place a whole bunch of trees. And so that's pretty cool. So I'm actually just going to leave that because honestly it looks fine. Why not? And next I will add some variety to the texture of everything here. So we did this one and it coated everything, and now let's add another texture and go ahead and add the cliff layer texture, which now we just have here. It doesn't coat everything, and then we'll add another texture. Dirt. Okay, so once we have the dirt in, I kind of just want to add some variety, so I'm going to use this one, big brush because everything's giant. I'm going to lower the opacity, and then just, it didn't work well. Target strength, lower that too, because I don't want it to make those patterns so obvious. See if that even did anything. See, it added a little bit. You know, and then you just mess around with the different settings to see what you like the most. And well, I was doing the wrong one the whole time. So go back and mass place trees. So there are trees. And then what I wanted to do was I wanted to use this one for this part. So again, I'll up the target strength a little bit. Grab my chaotic brush. And then for the mountains, we want them to be, in my opinion, even more lacking of grass. I'm going to kind of just cut out the grass for the tall mountains here. Okay. So the next part is I want to make a road through these mountains. And actually, let's go ahead and add a skybox. So if we go edit, render settings, and then let's go to our skyboxes. Do Erie. And we have our skybox. And let's move our camera to our view. Just leave the line view. Okay, so back to terrain. Let's go ahead and make our path through the mountains.
Didn't even get to cross.